Today we're going to explore something truly mind-blowing, DNA origami. Now, I'm sure many of us remember the fun of folding paper into shapes when we were kids. Cranes, boats, or maybe even that jumping frog that never quite worked. But what if I told you that scientists are doing something similar with DNA? Instead of paper, they're folding DNA, the very blueprint of life, into incredibly precise structures. And these shapes aren't just for fun. They're helping to revolutionize medicine, from delivering drugs directly to cancer cells to diagnosing diseases with unmatched accuracy. DNA origami could change everything we know about healthcare. So let's dive into how this works and why it's so important. What is DNA origami? DNA origami is a technique that was developed by Professor Paul Rothman in 2006. So imagine folding a long strip of paper into a precise shape, but instead of paper, you're using DNA. The magic lies in how DNA strands naturally pair up based on complementary bases. This property is used to fold the DNA into a desired shape. With this method, scientists can create both 2D and 3D structures at the molecular level. With incredible precision, the best part, these DNA structures can self-assemble, meaning you design the sequence and the DNA automatically folds itself into the shape you need. It's like programming a tiny machine that's smaller than a cell, capable of performing complex tasks.
DNA origami is a DNA self-assembly strategy that combines a long single strand of DNA called a scaffold with a series of deliberately designed complementary DNA fragments called staple strands. These components are bound together by taking advantage of the natural base pairs of DNA explained by the Watson-Crick base pairing principle. Adenine binds to thymine and guanine binds to cytosine in order to create highly complex nanostructures in a controlled manner, all held together and stabilized by hydrogen bonds. By relying on these fundamental and predictable base pairing rules, this technique can be used to create a variety of nanostructures for purposes of all sorts.
One of the biggest benefits of DNA origami is its precision. Because DNA molecules follow strict pairing rules, we can create structures that are incredibly specific. This is critical for medical applications like targeted drug delivery. Imagine sending a drug directly to a cancer cell without affecting healthy tissue, a dream that DNA origami is helping bring closer to reality. The self-assembly process is predictable, so the risk of errors is minimized, ensuring that these nanostructures work as intended when it matters most. Another advantage is its versatility. DNA origami can be used for so much more than just drug delivery. For example, it could be used in biosensing, detecting specific disease markers in the body with extreme accuracy. DNA structures can be programmed to interact with certain molecules, making them powerful tools for diagnostics and personalized medicine. It's like having a molecular detective that knows exactly what to look for.
So you might be asking, what structures are even possible with DNA origami? Scientists have been pushing the limits of DNA origami since it was invented. DNA origami can create any 2D or 3D shape structure as long as it's in the nanoscale. First, we got 2D structures, think of these like stickers. These are flat shapes designed to hold or arrange together molecules with nanometer precision. Scientists have made triangles, rectangles to weird shapes like smiley faces. Now there's 3D structures, which are more complex and useful. These include shapes like cubes, tetrahedras, or cages, or honeycombs. Now, you might be asking yourself, why do we even need these? You see, 3D shapes, like tiny boxes or cages, you can hold medicine in them, put substances inside, and release at the right time. More on that later. DNA is programmable, more compatible with the body rather than synthetic materials. Applying this concept, scientists have also made 3D nanorobots that can walk, transport substances, and even fold themselves, giving us a way to target diseases at a molecular level. So I talked about DNA origami being able to hold substances. This property allows them to be used for medicine. In 2018, researchers at Arizona State University in collaboration with the National Center for Nanoscience in China created nanorobots to fight cancer. These nanorobots were constructed using DNA origami structures, specifically from flat DNA origami sheets that were folded into tubes that carried thrombin, the enzyme that clots blood. You see, this enzyme converts fibrinogen to fibrin, which holds platelets and cells to clot blood. This blood clot forms within hours, and the nanorobots naturally degrade within 24 hours to ensure no harmful side effects. This kills the tumor by blocking the transport of oxygen and nutrients to it. Thrombin is hidden inside the tube and is only ever exposed to the bloodstream when the DNA aptamer detects the presence of nucleolin. See, nucleolin is a protein that's found on the surface of cancer cells. This makes it so that healthy cells don't have to be worried. Using mice with melanoma as test subjects, the treatment resulted in major tissue damage to tumors within 24 hours with no side effects. 3 out of 8 mice showed complete tumor regression, and in lung cancer models, tumors shrank significantly in just 2 weeks. These nanorobots naturally degraded within a day, which leaves no side effects. Since this is pretty recent in medicine, and as we know from class, it takes a while for a certain treatment to be approved, DNA origami-based therapy has not been approved for clinical trials just yet. The closest scientists have been to human clinical trials is a study from Harvard involving Dorivac. Dorivac is a DNA origami-based cancer vaccine developed at the Harvard Wise Institute. It precisely arranges antigens and immune-boosting molecules to train the immune system to recognize and destroy cancer cells. In human cell cultures, the Dorivac vaccine activated killer T cells that fight tumors. In mice, it slowed tumor growth and worked even better when combined with existing immunotherapy. But like other origami therapies, Dorivac still needs more testing before human trials can actually begin.
Like any breakthrough technology, DNA origami faces challenges. One major issue is error correction. The self-assembly process, while incredibly efficient, can sometimes lead to small mistakes, like strands that don't align properly. Even minor errors can make a structure fail, which is a big problem when you're dealing with complex medical applications where precision is everything. Another hurdle is production cost. Creating these DNA nanostructures involves complex and expensive synthetic processes. While prices have come down over time, they're still too high for large-scale use, which makes it truly difficult to unlock DNA origami's potential in everyday medical applications. There's also a lack of standardization. Right now, DNA origami techniques aren't universally standardized, meaning there's a lot of variability in how researchers design, assemble, and test these structures. Without clear guidelines, it's hard to replicate experiments and scale up designs, which slows down progress in the field. Finally, scalability and complexity are ongoing challenges. While DNA origami has been successful at creating small structures, scaling them up to larger and more complex forms is tricky. The more intricate the design, the higher the chance of errors during assembly. Managing these interactions and ensuring the structures work at a larger scale is an obstacle scientists are working to overcome.
DNA origami technology has great potential when considering how many uses that have already been discovered even in its infancy. Through further development of DNA self-assembly technology, and by addressing the issues that are currently holding it back, breakthroughs in the field of medicine, genetics, and nanofabrication all seem possible. The versatility of DNA origami is its greatest strength, from refinements in targeted drug delivery and precision medicine, to use as a template structure in the production of nanorobots and molecular machines. The possibilities that it can bring is what makes it a promising field of study. DNA origami has the potential to bring unparalleled precision in design to a molecular scale, all while being driven by a natural process.